All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. It is that time of the week, folks. My weekly picks in the world of the National Football League. And as we are here in the month of December, it's stretch run time for the postseason in the National Football League. And on top of that, got a lot of games this weekend with playoff implications. We've got a lot of games where division opponents are meeting with first place on the line. And I'll tell you like this, kudos to the National Football League for their scheduling because you know what? They know how to keep their audience intrigued. We had a big one last night in the Motor City between two teams that are looking to hang around in the NFC playoff picture. Of course, the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions, two teams that played on Thanksgiving Day. So it was not a short week for them. The Lions, of course, had two consecutive home games, and we saw their offense really come ready to play as they're looking to hang around in that NFC North picture. With that said, we've got some very good, crucial games on tap for Sunday, as well as the Monday night affair. And with that said, here are my picks for week number 14 in this NFL season. Now, you got the 9-3 Seattle Seahawks traveling to take on the 4-8 Atlanta Falcons. And for Seattle, they come into this contest favored by 6.5 points. And I like them to cover, and I'll tell you why. When you have a team like Seattle under head coach Mike McDonald that can play defense and they can run the football, guess what? Those two phases of your team travel. I think the biggest thing for Seattle is that quarterback Sam Darnold needs to make sure that he throws the football to the guys who are wearing the same color jersey that he has on. On the flip side, for Atlanta, of course, they're going now with veteran quarterback Kirk Cousins due to the fact that the youngster Michael Penix Jr. is done for the rest of the season. I don't like Cousins against the Seattle defense. Thus, I'm going to take the Seahawks on the road by 10, 30-20. Now, in Orchard Park, we've got the 8-4 Buffalo Bills hosting the 4-8 Cincinnati Bengals. And don't look now. The Cincinnati Bengals got some juice under them. I mean, we saw them go on the road in Baltimore on Thursday night last week and beat the Baltimore Ravens handily. And I'll tell you like this Bengals team looks a lot different when number 9, Joe Burrow, is back there at quarterback. For the Bills, they're still in must-win mode because they've got to try to find a way to keep up with the New England Patriots. Of course, the Patriots have their bye week this Sunday, and if you're the Bills and you want to entertain any idea of going out there and winning the AFC West once again, or pardon me, the AFC East once again, excuse me, you want to go out there and take care of your business in this one. Buffalo comes in favored by 6 points. It's going to be 31 degrees at the game time temperature, but nonetheless, I like the way that Cincinnati's playing. They also get T. Higgins back, and you're talking about when you got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, two of the better wide receivers in the NFL. And, of course, now that Jamar Chase has his guy back at quarterback in Joe Burrow, he's got some more spring in his legs as well. Thus, I'm going to take Cincinnati on the road in this one, 27-24. Now, we've got the 1-11 Tennessee Titans traveling to take on the 3-9 Cleveland Browns. And, of course, on the surface, this is not a big game. We know this because both of these teams are done as far as their postseason chances for 2025. However, you're definitely looking forward to the future. You got Cam Ward at quarterback, the first overall pick for the Titans, and of course, Shedeur Sanders now for the Browns. Wasn't pretty last Sunday for the Shedeur against the 49ers. I expected that. It's been up and down for him since he's seen the field, but you look at it. He saw that Baltimore offense when he came off the bench a couple of weeks ago. Then when he saw the Raiders, the Baltimore defense, rather, he saw the Raiders defense in his first official start. And, of course, things looked a lot different. And, of course, he regressed somewhat last week against San Francisco. Tennessee is going to bring the juice defensively against Shedeur. I think it's going to be important for Cleveland to go out there and run the ball, which they can with Quinshon Judkins. And I will tell you like this. With that defense for the Browns and the way that Myles Garrett is playing right now, they could make life very tough for Cam Ward on Sunday afternoon. Cleveland comes into this contest favored by 4.5 points at home. I like the Browns by 10 points, 27-17. Now, we've got the Washington Commanders with a record of 3-9 traveling to take on the Minnesota Vikings with a record of 4-8. Two teams who made the postseason last year, and clearly things have not worked out for either one of them this season. A big reason why: injuries, and of course, injuries to their quarterbacks. Two quarterbacks that were taken in the first round last year: Jaden Daniels for Washington, and of course, J.J. McCarthy for the Vikings. I think this game comes down to which team is going to get the best continuity. I look at the Vikings, and you have Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, has not been the greatest season for him due to the fact that the quarterback play has not been great around him. But I think with McCarthy back, Justin Jefferson wants to ball out in this game. Speaking of balling out, Jaden Daniels coming back from injury. What is he going to be able to do against this Vikings defense and defensive coordinator, Brian Flores? We've got to wait and see. Minnesota is favored, or pardon me, the Commanders rather, are favored by 1.5 on the road in this one. But I do like the Vikings in a squeaker, 24-23. Now at MetLife Stadium, we've got the 5-7 Miami Dolphins traveling to take on the 3-9 Jets. And after their slow start, Miami's starting to pick it up, and they have life as they're looking to hang around in that AFC playoff picture. But also the Jets, after losing their first 7 games, they've won 3 out of their last 5, and make no mistake about it, this team has continued to play hard for head coach Aaron Glenn. I look at this Jets defense. Can they find a way to get the Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa? That's going to be a big thing right there. And for this Jets offense, there seems to be more continuity, if you will, more cohesion with the veteran Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. The Dolphins are favored by 2.5 points on the road in this one. I'm going to go with the Jets by a field goal, 23-20. Now in the NFC South, we've got the 2-10 New Orleans Saints traveling to take on the 7-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are in first place by a half game over the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are off this Sunday, so if you're Tampa Bay, this is a must-win for you as you want to go out there and take care of your business against the lowly Saints. Make no mistake about it. For first-year head coach Kellen Moore, New Orleans is going to play hard in each phase of the game. I like their defense, and they're probably going to go out there and possibly force a turnover from Bucs quarterback Baker Mayfield. But speaking of turnovers, I like this cover too, going up against the Saints offense with rookie quarterback Tyler Shaw, especially a guy like Antoine Winfield Jr. in that secondary. Tampa Bay is favored by 8.5. It's going to be closer than the final score, but the Bucs pull away late, 27-17. Now, a big one in the AFC South is we got the 8-4 Indianapolis Colts traveling to take on the 8-4 Jacksonville Jaguars with first place in the division on the line. And it wasn't that long ago that you had people calling the Colts the best team in the National Football League. Second half of the season has not been as kind to Indianapolis as they've lost 3 out of their last 4. Quarterback Daniel Jones is trying to play through an injury. But on top of that, I think the biggest thing for me with the Colts is that the defenses that they have been playing in recent weeks are better. And those better defenses have been taking away Colts running back Jonathan Taylor and trying to make Daniel Jones beat them. I think what Indianapolis has to do in this one, they've got to get Jonathan Taylor going early to take some of that pressure off of Daniel Jones. Now, I'm looking at this game. If I'm talking about the run game, advantage Indianapolis. If I'm talking about the defense, advantage Indianapolis. But I think this game right here is going to come down to the quarterback play, and it's also going to come down to the head coaching decisions. When it comes down to quarterback play, Trevor Lawrence gets the nod. And I'm also going to give the nod to Liam Cohen, the young head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 3 of Indianapolis's 4 losses this season have come away from Lucas Oil Stadium. And I think they get their 5th loss on Sunday, as I like Jacksonville to be in first place all by their lonesome in the AFC South by the score of 24-20. to 20. Now, another battle with first place on the line in the division. You've got the 6-6 Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to take on the 6-6 Baltimore Ravens. Like I said, Pittsburgh had an opportunity earlier this season to put the Ravens away with the injury to Lamar Jackson. They failed to do it. Last weekend, we saw the Ravens lose to the Bengals at home on Thursday Night Football. Pittsburgh missed an opportunity to go back ahead of the Ravens in that division after they lost at home to the Buffalo Bills. You got two teams that theoretically, with the talent, they're better than their records, but at the end of the day, talent alone does not win games. It comes down to execution. The Pittsburgh Steelers continue to be frustrating. The Baltimore Ravens continue to be frustrating. I think this contest right here is going to be a typical Ravens Steelers type game, which means it is going to be physical. And it's also going to come down to which offense has to settle for field goals as opposed to touchdowns. Lamar Jackson is a bad man. We know what Aaron Rodgers has done throughout his career at quarterback position in the National Football League. The Ravens come in favored by 6 points at home in this one. M&T Bank Stadium is going to be rocking on Sunday afternoon, but I like Baltimore, the whole serve at home by the score of 24-20. Now in the AFC West, we've got the 10-2 Denver Broncos traveling to take on the 2-10 Vegas Raiders. And if you're Denver, you want to keep pace with New England for that top spot in the AFC while also holding off the Chargers for first place in the AFC West. For the Raiders, what can you say? They are one of the worst teams in the NFL. And I think this side of the Giants and this side of the Titans, that's where they are. The Broncos are favored by 7.5 points in this one. I think that is very generous. I love Denver's defense going up against Raiders quarterback Geno Smith. I think they're going to pin their ears back and they're going to come after number 7. I like the Broncos in this one by 2 touchdowns, 31-17. Now in the NFC North, first place in that division is on the line. You've got the 9-3 Chicago Bears traveling to Lambeau to take on the 8-3-1 Green Bay Packers. We saw Green Bay last Thursday pull one out on the road against the Detroit Lions, and a win right here would give the Packers first place in this division. The Bears this season, they have had a knack for pulling out games late. It's kind of like, you know what, they keep it close, and then the fourth quarter simply belongs to them. Caleb Williams, he's started slow in games, but he's picked it up. For me, Caleb Williams has shown in a very quick period of time in the National Football League, especially this year with Ben Johnson as his head coach, a little, Houdini in him to go out there and make plays. And that's why it's going to be interesting because this Bears offensive line, especially the left tackle, have got to be on point going up against this Packers front with Micah Parsons, because it's not just about Micah Parsons. It's about the attention that Micah Parsons gets, and it opens up things for so many other people on the defensive side of the football. Which of these teams are going to be able to run the football? The Bears with DeAndre Swift or the Packers with Josh Jacobs? And of course, which of these defenses is going to force the opposing quarterback into making a turnover or two and getting frustrated? Green Bay comes into this game favored by 6.5 points. This is December weather in the NFC North, and it's a shame that the Bears are looking to move indoors soon because guess what? 3 out of the 4 teams in the NFC North would be indoors. You still got the Packers. They're never going to put a dome on Lambeau. 17 degrees at kickoff. It's Bear-Packer weather. It's December. What more can you ask for? I like Green Bay at home by the score of 24-22. Now in the NFC West, we've got the 9-3 Los Angeles Rams traveling to take on the 3-9 Arizona Cardinals. And of course, if you are the Rams, you want to get back on track after you were upset on the road last Sunday in Charlotte, courtesy of the Carolina Panthers. And on top of that, you want to keep up with both the Niners and the Seahawks atop the NFC West. I look at the Rams. I think they get back to the basics with their run game. Of course, it opens things up for quarterback Matt Stafford. I expect Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams to have big games. And I like this Rams defense going up against Cardinals quarterback Jacoby Brissett. Los Angeles comes in favored by 8.5. I like them by 13, to 17. Now on Sunday night, we've got the 7-5 Houston Texans traveling to take on the 6-6 Kansas City Chiefs. And I'll tell you right now, this is must-win territory for the Chiefs. Okay, they are not going to go out there and catch the Broncos for first place in the AFC West. Make no mistake about it. Their only chance to get to the postseason is as a wild card. They're already looking up against a lot of contenders in the AFC in the playoff picture. A loss right here all but eliminates the Chiefs, in my opinion, because that would be another tiebreaker that they lose. It's one of those with the Chiefs. They're 6-6. They're playing better than their record, but at the end of the day, I think what it's been coming down to for the Chiefs is a play here or a play there in the fourth quarter. And of course, in years past, we've seen Kansas City be able to go out there and make those plays in those key situations. Kansas City's defense against the Houston offense, that's going to be important right there. We know what KC can do. And speaking of the Houston offense, these are the type of games that Texans quarterback CJ Stroud has to go out there and find a way to win if he and this team are going to be able to take the next step in the AFC. Defensively, I'll tell you like this. The Texans defense is one of the best in the NFL, and they're going to heat up Patrick Mahomes. Make no mistake about it. I think this game comes down to field position. I think it comes down to turnovers. And I also think it comes down to which team has to settle for touchdowns or gets touchdowns as opposed to having to settle for field goals. Kansas City's at home on Sunday night, 26 degrees at kickoff. Advantage Chiefs. They're also favored by 3.5 points. I like them by 3 in this one. 20-17. And finally, on Monday night, we've got the 8-4 Philadelphia Eagles traveling to SoFi to take on the 8-4 Los Angeles Chargers. And the bottom line is, this game comes down to which Eagles team that we are going to see. They're 8-4. They're the defending champs, but they haven't looked good all season long. The bottom line is, something is missing from this team that we saw last year. There's a sizzle that was there last year that is clearly not there this year. Can't really put my finger on it. The talent is there, but the cohesion is not there, especially on the offensive side of the football. The Eagles have not been able to run the football effectively like they did last year, and I think it's a credit to the teams that they're playing because, hey, they're simply taking the run game away and making Jalen Hurts beat them with his arm. At some point, Philly's got to get Saquon Barkley going. Maybe Monday night will be the night against this Chargers defense. Will this Eagles defense be able to heat up Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert? That's going to be a big part of the equation right there, because if you let Justin Herbert get going and get in a rhythm, he can pick you apart, folks. The Eagles come into this contest favored by 2.5 points on Monday night. Bottom line is, for me, I think this is a toss-up. Both of these teams need to win this game. The Chargers want to hold on to a wild card spot in the AFC while also trying to keep up with the Broncos in the AFC West. And, of course, if you're the Eagles, this is another opportunity for you to do something and extend yourself past the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC West after Dallas just lost last night to the Detroit Lions. I think this is going to be a back-and-forth affair throughout. This could go either way, but I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to take the Chargers 24-23. So, folks, those are my picks for week number 14 in this NFL season. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And as always, if you like what you heard and saw in this podcast, you know what to do. Just hit that like button as well as subscribing to this channel. And like I always say, it's greatly appreciated. Also, throughout this weekend, definitely check out this channel, as I'm going to be talking a lot about Conference Championship weekend in college football, as well as the NFL action. Also, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, you can check me out anytime at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you give me that follow, it will be my pleasure to do the same in return. And that also goes for Instagram, where you can check me out at 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. Also, if you are on Facebook, definitely check out the Sports Depot 365. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the better sports debating groups going on social media. But until next time, fine folks, My name is William Martin, and I'm signing off, and I'm saying thanks once again for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.